guys.
The all-seeing guys.
Hello. This is episode number... What number is this? Number fucking 30. 30, motherfuckers. Number 30. We're going to be doing something a little bit different for this episode to be number 30. We're going to start doing here and there little series of unplanned episodes of guests. Not all the time.
It's unplanned, unscripted, unrehearsed,
Apart
which
from
is
the
something
segments.
we don't do anyway.
Yeah, so... well, we don't read scripts. We have bullet points at least. There's prep involved.
There is some
There's
preparation.
usually prep.
But today, all prep is out the window.
It is. And we're going to do this every once in a while with a guest. So back in episode 18, we did one down the Fighting Cocks.
Yes, we did.
An episode that we spoke to the staff. We spoke to, obviously, fucking a few regulars. And conversation was recorded. It all got a bit
Drunk.
awesome.
Drunk.
It did get a bit drunk. We also spoke with the bar manager, Calum. It was such an epic conversation that I had to cut it down to 25 minutes.
But
the actual full hour, I did put out separately as well, and it's good fun.
Isn't that like one of our most listened to episodes?
Yeah, no pressure on Calum, but it is.
Just saying.
This is going to be the All Seeing Guys Unplanned with our very special guest, bar manager, Mr.
Extraordinaire.
Calum James Wright.
Hey! Woo, 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 woo.
Am I supposed to say hello now? Am I
mate,
ready to say hello?
You're involved. Welcome.
Hello,
Calum.
thank you very
How
much
are
for
you?
having me. I'm fantastic. Thank you for having
Thanks
me
for
on again.
thanks for
I
being
have no
here.
idea. I didn't know what the fuck was going on there. You guys played the music and it said hello. I wasn't sure. I kind of said hello as well. And then I was like, oh wait, no, Greg is introducing me, and then.
It's all fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We're
It's unplanned. It doesn't matter. It's fine.
we
It
spent,
was incredibly unplanned. That was like a guerrilla episode.
and that is the end of the episode.
yeah.
Thanks for
Yeah,
That is
listening.
it.
I just came over here for a barbecue.
I know, yeah.
We
And
just had a
successful.
barbecue in a bucket before
Yeah.
doing this.
This was this is Callum actually brought this idea to the table. This is a common occurrence.
And we did actually do it on a table as well.
It was on a table in a bucket.
With
Brilliant.
a fire.
Brilliant.
It was fantastic.
It's one of the best barbecues I've ever had.
It was delicious.
So far, we've not been sick yet.
Yeah. I'm a
Flash
converted
forward
bride.
25 minutes.
Yeah. That's yeah.
This episode might, if it suddenly be a short or the best episode ever. As I forget to hit record, and we're just taking it in turns to fucking dump in the toilet right next to where we are right now. And in between, we're all lying on the floor screaming, holding our stomachs.
Yeah.
That would be an extreme.
That'd be a great
circumstance
episode.
if we made a video.
Delicious.
I think we'd get a whole new
Pseudo-pork
set of
sausages.
listeners if we did an episode like that.
From the off license.
Some questionable listeners. I think we did a good job there. I think that was pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I thought we'd start this episode again, sticking with the theme we've been doing recently, a bit of geese dropping.
There's so many to hear, so
I
why
had so
not?
many built up. I thought I'd dish a few out. So geese dropping, for those who are unaware, is hearing snippets of people conversations that you overhear passing in the street, and we gather these up. People send them to us, and we read them out, and it's always pretty good fun.
Geese dropping. Having a listen.
Can I just say I've just realised what that intro reminds me of, and it's that fucking Stereophonics song. Was it like Roll Up and Shine or something?
Oh yeah.
Something about it reminds me of Gone in 60 Seconds, but the new one with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, listen, you
Wait, was there a?
that's the
Oh,
one,
no,
isn't
no,
it?
no, that was it. Was a remake,
Yeah,
wasn't
it was a remake. Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, a new. Yeah. Not,
And then
not
Angelina
new one, the not so new.
Angelina Jolie
Yeah.
with blonde dreads,
But it's just
which
that
is
kind of
honestly one of.
Yeah. Cars and girls.
What was that?
That was a big noise. Just I have no idea what that was.
Big
Sounded
old
like Lara
rumble.
Croft pushing a boulder in the old PS1 game. So geese dropping. I have.
Oh, yeah,
This
sorry.
was a little kid I overheard talking to his mum.
All right.
That diamond was so big, Mum, I could have literally pulled it out and it would have still been shiny.
What?
Where?
What?
Where on earth? What the fuck?
Around the Bental Centre.
What the hell?
What was he like? Was he a little geezer? Was he like, I could have pooed that
Like
out
he
and it would
was a
still
little,
been
it must
shitty.
have been about, I don't know.
I'm so adorable, I shout out diamonds.
He was dressed like he was from the Victorian era, maybe by his mum.
Do you have a flat cap on?
Mommy, I pooed out another diamond.
Oh, darling, well played.
Darling.
Yeah,
Just
it was a-
put it in the bin with the other trash.
A bit like from Family Guy, a bit like Stewie from Family Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Wow.
one is actually, it's pretty good actually. It's a bit of a cheat because it was actually from the nan I live with, my wife's nan.
Yeah.
And we were sat watching TV one day. They were talking about how they created mice in a lab using sperm. And she turned.
What?
And she
All
turned.
right.
And she
Wait,
went.
no, hold on.
I feel that's something that needs to be
They created
discussed.
mice in a
But
lab
made
using
think.
what,
Made,
human
no,
sperm.
I think from my sperm. like,
Okay,
they grew it.
I would assume
And
so,
she
yeah.
turned and she went, "Mouse created with sperm in lab. Bloody hell! Don't have enough mice already."
It's a valid point. Yeah.
I thought it was fucking
That's
awesome.
amazing.
I thought it was
Yeah,
really
that's
good.
brilliant.
I thought it was an
Brilliant.
awesome fucking point.
But these
true.
ones aren't white like all the ones they use in science labs. So they seem to be they need to be specifically white mice for lab experiments.
So I also heard on the bus.
Far more official.
Yeah.
You know, lab coat. It's just a uniform.
I also heard on the bus an old woman was sat down talking to an older gentleman, and the old dear turned around and she said, and the old man was like, "I see youngsters sit on the seats. It's not right." And the old dear turned around and went, "I know, it's terrible. Sometimes when I stand on the bus when there are seats. I wait for youngsters to come and sit in the empty seats, and then I ask them to give up their seat for me because
That
I'm
is
old."
fucking sadistic. Man, don't trust old people, man.
Don't
trust old people.
A pre-planned method.
I heard
of-
her say it. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's why I never That's why I never sit down in the what are they called? On the
Buses?
The
train?
buses.
No, it's like it's the
Oh, like
seating
the seat you have to give
Yeah,
up
what's
for
it
like
called? I'm
a
just drawing a
disability or
No, it's not called that.
Priority
Spastic.
seat.
Priority seat.
Spastic seat.
The priority seat, which in
the
itself,
SPAC seat.
which in
The
itself is a bit of
deacons,
a
the
bullshit.
deacon seat,
It's a bullshit
the Joey
fucking
Deacon
name.
seat.
It is a bullshit name. The priority seat.
It is,
It's
yeah, it is, yeah.
Oh, you clearly take priority. What if that old man is a fucking paedophile? How's he got the priority over me to sit down there? He should be walking.
Or what about like the old guy that stinks of piss and just like, oh, I've got to prioritise
Yeah,
this piss
exactly.
stinking man.
I've
Like,
gotta
The priority
yeah.
paedophile
I
seats
gotta-
on trains.
Wait, mate, get out of the seat.
I'm a priority pedo. You got to let me sit down.
I need to prioritize. The
I'm
extent to which I
VIPdo.
need to
I'm a
shit right
pedo, a very important pedo.
now.
Jimmy Savile.
Yeah. Jimmy Savile, VIP.
A member of parliament. Hey.
Political.
Yeah.
Political
Yeah,
times.
no, we have to get the political in there just so we can use the hashtag political so we
yes,
get
of
more
course,
people
yeah.
to listen.
And that makes sense.
Right?
That's why you sometimes talk about music and play it at the end. 'cause
Yeah,
hashtag
exactly. Yeah,
culture.
hashtag music.
Culture.
Yeah.
Hashtag pop culture.
Yeah.
Down with the kids.
Down with
.com.
No,
I
get
that's,
it. It all
that's the
falls into
pedo.
place
That's the
when you're
pedo
in the
hashtag that we have.
studio.
Down with the kids.
The guys that Open All Powers podcast, they sent us a tweet recently of a geese drop in they had heard.
Oh really?
And they even hashtagged it geese drop, which I thought was fucking awesome. It simply said, "At work, see you on Monday. Have a great time. I want loads of Willy stories."
Where were they going?
Away with Willy, I think.
Nah, going to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, isn't it?
Yeah.
They were just off with the caretaker, Willy, for a
Going
little,
to the chocolate factory this weekend.
With
I
a
think-
bunch
whoa.
of Willies
Whoa.
coming back with stories.
Willy Wonka was going to the chocolate factory.
Yeah,
anyway.
always. For days.
Hashtag Willy's Wonka stories.
Chocolate for days. Lots of Willy stories.
How have they not done a porno yet, which is Willy Wanker and the Chocolate Factory?
They
sure it's
did
out
in
there.
a Max. in Max
Straight on it.
in,
They did.
I'm sure it's on there. They did.
They did.
no, but
Episode 25.
do you remember Max and Paddy, that show?
Oh yeah, yeah.
One of them got asked to be in a porno, and he shows up in like a big cowboy hat. It's like, "I'm ready," and he's like, "Right, lube up. This one's called
Wait,
Willy
is this
Wonka."
real,
And
or
it's
is
a
this-
comedy show. He's
Oh,
like, "This
right.
one's called Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory," and then he just gets dumped by loads of big black guys, and it shows him afterwards like staggering back to his holding his
Rough.
bumhole.
That is rough.
What the fuck?
That is rough.
Max and Paddy, I can't remember the fucking show's called. but
I would have thought they'd get Oompa Loompas involved in that. That's
I think there
Maybe.
might have been actually.
that would be the only real pull factor for Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh
you know?
dear.
But let us not forget that it's actually called Charlie and the Chocolate
It is,
Factory.
it
Very
is,
true.
it is.
Which
Charlie
true.
makes
Factory.
this conversation really fucking weird.
Redundant.
Yeah.
Redundant.
Really weird.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
It
like-
kind of goes all full circle
But
back
even
to
now,
Jimmy Savile.
but following what we
blown.
were just talking about, now remembering it is called Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, it does sound a lot more menacing, doesn't it?
Yeah,
You kind of
yeah.
feel for Charlie now.
Some,
Yeah,
it's,
yeah. Charlie.
it's basically it's code for cocaine and bum
Of
sex.
course
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was. Of course it
Cocaine
was.
and bum sex.
if you break it down, it's like Charlie is a
Charlie and-
poverty-stricken
He just
child.
abused those
whose
kids.
Mother neglects him.
He just
Well,
abused.
no, she
while
does her
he's-
best.
He
but-
just abused.
Well, she's not really.
No,
around.
it's Uncle Joe. It's Grandpa Joe you want to look out
No,
for. The
no,
man who can mysteriously
she's
start
not-
walking
she's not
after
re-
40
she's
years
not-
of laying in bed.
Yeah. She's not really around, so she leaves him to care for his 4.
Have you seen what her job
bedridden-
is, though? Her job is just to clean, like, just carpets.
Cleaning, just cleaning stuff.
Just sticking carpets
like
in a big old
carpets.
boiling bit of water.
in a boy. Yeah,
in a boy.
In a boiling bit of water.
that's true. So no.
Shit job.
It's not her fault. It's
not her
At
fault.
the end of the day, her child is neglected, right?
Very much.
From that,
Oh, we still
he
talking about
has to-
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I think
Yeah,
so.
because this is
Okay.
if you break down the movie, it's pretty fucking
Yes, it's very
hectic.
dark. Roald
His-
Dahl
the
hated the original film. He
grandparents-
hated it. Roald Dahl hated the original film made.
Oh really?
Yeah, hated it.
I'd imagine you would. But
Gene Wilder's badass in it, though.
He hated
do you not
Jim
think
Wilder in it.
does
Really?
no one does
Yeah.
no
Well,
does
fuck
no
Roald
one
Dahl.
think does no one think to like mention that the 2 sides of the family's grandparents all sleep in one bed?
Yeah.
And this is who Charlie's looking after. I'd imagine there are multiple, like, kind of sponge baths that need to happen in that kind of situation. They skip
you
all of
think
that out, cut it
they
all
are
out.
not a
Next thing,
family
he's
that
at
can afford a
sweet
sponge?
factory, at a sweet factory, these days that just wouldn't fly.
No.
Because,
Who's going to put a
since
kid in
Jamie
charge?
Oliver went in and said no more fucking sweeties
Turkey
and stuff.
Twizzlers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I heard about that. I
Yeah,
heard
right.
how much it
no,
meant to the
are we in
British
Oliver Twist
population.
now?
No. This is we're still Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Bloody hell.
Oliver-
But no,
Oliver
right?
Twist
How
didn't have
fucking
turkey Twizzlers.
mate? I'm sorry.
Please, sir, I
He
want
had
some
like a
more.
what? He asked
Jane
for-
slop.
At
He
Jamie's
asked for an
school
extra-
dinners, please, sir, I want some more.
Gruel.
Yeah.
They had
he asked for an
gruel.
extra bowl of porridge and he
I
got
had
kicked
to
the fuck
sing
onto
that.
the streets
Yeah,
to the
done.
Artful Dodger.
I was
That's
in the
it.
school play of Oliver Twist, and I was an orphan kid, and I had to sing that. Is it worth a waiting for? Will we live to 84? Will we ever have his gruel? That was my bit.
What did were you
Cold
ever?
sausage and mustard.
I was in a school like because we were like I did drama for GCSE and we had
Did
to do
you
like
now?
I did yes and we had to do this thing
good.
where it was like a group thing and
Orgy.
yeah. And it went great. It was brilliant. We performed it in front of the entire school, and everyone got a pass.
Wow. Pass on
Sorry,
what?
who were
Ass.
you?
No, we had to do this group thing, and it was basically the
You
task.
mean group thing.
Yeah, well, you kept interrupting me, so I like
Once.
now we're here. But we had to do basically we had to be a theme park, so everyone was different rides. But then we all had to come together at the end and make a big ride, and it was like a haunted house.
That does sound like an orgy.
Yeah, right.
Sound like an orgy.
Right. So like we had to do this haunted house thing, and like so everyone
Ooh,
was like
it's
going
scary.
around this school
Is
like.
that what the teacher said? Ooh,
That was
it's
it. Well, no,
scary.
like people were playing like the thing that they sit in, and there was like 4 kids that were chosen to be the people riding the ride, and then we were all just going around them, just going like woo, and like there was this one bit where me and this guy were doing this thing where he stabs me, and it all got fucked up, and he ended up just punching me in the face.
What?
Full blown, like just because like we were out of time, and he just like full blown just punched
Whatever.
me in the mouth.
That was a 4-year schoolyard fucking vendetta.
That was it.
played
Yeah,
out.
he hated me. Yeah. Because I wasn't popular and he was, and he was just like, I hate you for that, so I'm going to punch you in the mouth during drama.
Wow.
He's
Yeah.
a fucking asshole.
That's not
Fucking
what
hell.
happened.
Fuck you, dude. Whoever you are.
I was in a school when I was in Oliver.
Yeah, you said,
one
yeah.
of the teachers like
Yeah, you
filmed
said,
it.
yeah.
He recorded it, and I had this really and like we had to watch it in assembly.
Pass my light, Emma.
We had to watch it in assembly a few days later.
This costs nothing, John.
Sorry.
I remember
Thank you.
the teacher was like, one of the parents recorded our school production and using this marvelous bit of technology, we're going to watch it now. This massive, huge fucking thing. Mate, it was fucking massive. Like,
What,
it was
Oliver?
it was like projecting the recording of the school play on the projector screen in the
Yeah.
assembly. So we watched it all, and at one point it proper zoomed in on my face when I was just at the table in the background being an orphan. But I had this habit at the time, it's going to be hard to explain. I was like roll my lips up to touch my nose like this. Like kind of think of like a really slow motion kiss where you
Like the original duck face.
You really emphasize.
You were doing the duck face.
Yeah, the top.
You were doing the
lip
duck face.
rolling off the brim of your nose. I was like,
Amy's nephew apparently used to do that. Sniffer's top lip.
Well, it zoomed in on my face. And I remember as soon as I did that, thinking, oh fuck. And as soon as it happened, I had so many people go, he always does that. I see it, and I was just like, oh my god.
Sniffing his lip. I think it's such a horrible phrase. Sniffing your lip.
It sounds like a Spinal Tap record, doesn't it? Sniff the lip.
Yeah, sniff the lip.
It sounds like a Spinal Tap album.
It means something completely different. Though.
That sounds like a good episode title for this one.
Yeah,
Sniff the
All
lip.
seeing guys and Callum sniff the lip.
Sniff. How am I going to
Or
draw that?
Like a steel panther. Like
Yeah.
sniff the lip.
I love it. I love that it's just one lip though. You got to choose which one.
Wow.
All the lips.
The left is wrong, but the right is right.
You gotta sniff that shit because it's fucking tight.
It sounds like the intro to like an 80s game show. Sniff the lips.
Yeah,
Sniff the
Sniff the lip. Be like one of those
Sniff the
Takeshi
lip.
Castle style
It's
shows.
what like Wheel of Fortune was before it
you got
became
to
Wheel
climb
of
over the
Fortune.
lip and get inside. It's like a big inflatable pair of lips.
I love it.
The vagina's the final episode.
You saying about you saying about being filmed and stuff. That was probably not the best way to go into this.
No, yeah.
No, this was me still.
I'm
again
in a porno.
in drama. We one day we had to sit down and we had to read through this script, and so we're all sat in like in the drama room, which was all of us just sat on no desks, just like a ring of chairs.
Classic
Yeah.
drama.
The drama room, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody get comfortable.
Yeah,
Sit on the
everyone
floor.
like
Cross
chill out.
your
Yeah,
legs,
yeah.
take
You know,
your
cross
shoes
like
off.
you know, just shake out, shake it out, shake it out. Yeah, you know,
Sit
get all
down,
that-
knee to knee.
Yeah, and so we're all sat
Feels
around
good,
reading the
doesn't it?
script.
Focus on your
Yeah.
Focus on your tummy breath.
So like we're all sat around and everything, and I used to hate like the whole like the fact that like it was drama, that there was still like writing and reading and stuff involved. I thought it was all practical. That's why I took it, and also it was a laugh to be someone else that wasn't me. Who was like,
Oh, wow.
I know, right? How deep's
Deep
that?
truth bomb.
Truth
I'm a
bomb.
peacock.
Truth
You
bomb.
gotta let me fly.
So like
11 was a hoax.
we're all-
Truth bomb.
so we're all like reading the script and stuff, and like I remember like reading it and I'm just being like super fucking bored. So like 2 days later I go in to see my drama
Breathing.
teacher, and she I go like 2 days later I have to go and see my drama teacher because I'm not sure about something for coursework, and I go in there and she was like,
Anal was not coursework.
Yeah, there was coursework for drama. Like so I walk in
What
and
the fuck?
I know, right?
What the fuck is this
This
shit?
is what's-
Tear this place apart.
I have to write
No, take that back.
my
Take
writing.
that back.
I do my writing with my mouth.
Yeah,
God
yeah.
damn it, better be with a quill. It better be with a quill.
I'm
like-
very method, and right now I'm methoding lazy as fuck.
Yeah. So I walk into the room and the teacher sees me. He's like, "Ah, Joe, I'm actually quite glad you're here. I've got something to show you." And
Here's my
so
penis.
she'd.
Here's my vagina.
Apparently, the whole like whilst we were sat down reading this like script for this scene or whatever, she recorded everyone
Without
whilst
telling
doing-
you.
No. It was like I apparently wasn't paying attention at this point, and she was like recording us, and she was like noticing our interactions. I think it was all just like a game because she was just like, I just wanted to see how people were reacting to this, and so this thing was like 20 minutes long, and she did it fast,
Did
and
she
I
ask
was
you to sniff your lip?
no,
on
no,
camera?
no. I was dead center in this thing that she'd recorded, so I'm like right in the center of this clip, and she speeds it up, and all it is me shifting in position, so bored, like just like doing all these different.
Fidgeting.
Everyone
Just like
everyone else is stood like sat still reading this shit, and I'm just all over the place, like. Just and right at the end of it, she goes, "Oh yeah, no, it's come to the end here." She presses play, and just everyone starts standing up, and you just see me just grab this pamphlet and just chuck it on the ground, and then I walk over to the camera and just go, "That was fucking boring," and I was like, "Oh god," and she was just like, "No, that was so refreshing."
Really?
That's such a brilliant
She was
drama
just like,
approach to it.
she was
Like,
just like, you just couldn't sit still. It was just. I could see how much you hated it, and I was just like, "Yeah, I just wanted to do something."
So you kind of turned it around. You really impressed.
Yeah,
the
I
drama
thought I
teacher.
was
You were
going to be like crazy in
yeah.
trouble. Like she was just like,
man,
yeah.
I just
Joe's swan song.
it's just all I wanted was to act.
Yeah.
I just
know?
wanted to let myself out.
I just really, while I sat there in silence, I just had to show how bored I was. So, yeah.
Very convincingly.
Yeah.
My favorite bit about drama is doing improv, man. I fucking love doing that.
Yeah, we used to do like that shit. I mean, it was like the game was that you could like 4 people would get up and the teacher would choose a scene, but like at any point you can shout stop, take someone out of the scenario, and then whoever comes back in just can completely
Yeah, of course,
change
that
the
was it.
scenario.
Yeah, that was it.
It was so much fun.
I didn't have drama later on really, except I did once play Jack in Jack and the Beanstalk.
Oh,
Choice.
fucking A.
Fucking.
How did you
How
pull
old-
off
how
the
old were you for
beanstalk?
that?
It's pretty
How old were you?
badass. It was last year.
At the Rose.
Yeah. Like, I was.
We went on
I thi-
before Blink
I think
182.
I must have been about 5. I think you know.
Yeah.
So I was told
Like
that
school
I was
play,
jacked,
like, yeah.
I remember running on on the spot and going and singing about my knapsack on my back. My knapsack on my back. Oh, wait. To-da-dee, to-da-da, to-da-dee, to-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Dude.
And there was like they'd made the legs of a giant from the top of the school hall, like out of paper.
Oh,
kind of
genius.
out of like tissue paper.
Yeah, yeah.
And then a stalk going up. So the giant never really, he wasn't really part of it. It was mainly,
It's just a voice.
there's a chorus and me running on the spot, and they
Nice.
fucking loved it. I'll tell you that.
That's badass.
Panties getting thrown onto
Yeah.
the stage,
Just
roses,
wet,
yeah,
just wet preschool knickers, just being
Oh,
thrown at you.
fucking hell. Oh
Their
my
son, their Capri
covered.
Suns buzzed in their bag.
Yeah. Everybody was just waiting for lunch to get some custard or something. Whoa, no, that wasn't me, you fucking sicko.
Okay,
My
right.
phones have gone.
So like,
So, and then after that, my only other experience would have been
Phil Collins never had this.
no, in
trouble.
our in our final year of high school, like we had these house plays for like the school houses.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
our
so your
mates-
school was like all split into like divisions and shit as well.
into houses.
Yeah, same with ours.
Kips.
Ours were like Rome, Jerusalem, Damascus, all this
Kips and
religious
Shaw.
bullshit. Antioch.
Yeah, things like that. And we had these house plays that they decided to do. Like one of my mates was he was
Actor.
no, he was the head of the house, but everybody in our house has just fucking been like useless about it. And last minute he had like 3 days or something to write it, and because no one had stood up to write
Oh,
it,
so you
they'd-
could create whatever you wanted.
Yeah, so it's up to the students, and like someone would step up and be like, "I'll take charge of this," and then get this play together. And there were 4 plays that would then be played because they're plays.
On the X-Nay.
And they basically fucked Graham over. So Graham came up to Greg and I like 3 days before, and he's like, "Bro, no one stood up to write this play. The dude who was going to be doing it just didn't. And there's 3 days to it. Every other house is like fucking,
On it.
They've been spending weeks, months,
yeah.
like rehearsing on this thing. We need
We've
to come
got
up with
3
something.
days.
So Greg and I were like, "Sweet, well, we'll help you." And we just threw this thing together, basically an array of skits that we thought were funny in like a matter of days. And then we just like roped in a bunch of younger guys and we're like, "You need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this." And we put it together. It was fucking awesome. We came
Oh,
second.
yeah.
We
Wow.
came
Yeah,
second,
dude.
Fucking A.
Second by default. The other one just fucking at the time, Prison Break was really popular, and the other guys just
yeah.
referenced Prison Break the whole time.
Ah,
But
clever.
Was it just so someone could
Pop
take their top
culture,
off?
hashtag.
We did, yeah, pardon?
Was it just so someone could take their top off?
Yeah, it was 100%. It was so that a dude could rip off his top and have like a
Girls just
finger
screaming.
painted blueprint on her back. Fucking, and that was like, okay,
No.
they've won.
He's just got the word blueprint written on his back. And it's like, oh no, I get that reference.
Yeah. Another house did. They just completely. They didn't even like pretend not to. They just took the script from a Monty Python skit and just recited it.
Brilliant.
And you were like, fucking classic Baxter.
Okay, so like when
Baxter House.
So when like all of us was sort of in school and stuff, like school plays and like nativity plays was sort of a big deal, right? Do you
I
reckon-
was Jacob in the nativity play.
Really?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Who's Jacob?
Of Jacob?
Yeah,
Actually,
Jacob.
you don't know who is Jacob, actually.
Who's Jacob? And then you mean Joseph?
Joseph.
You mean fucking? I was like, well, am I missing something
Cracker.
here? Like my
He was the cracker.
yeah. My religious knowledge is not really what I'd say incredible.
I
But
was Jacob, you
was
know.
Jacob.
Jacob's ladder.
I was a fruit vendor.
Yeah. But like, Do you reckon like school plays and like all that shit is still like a big deal in school now? Like,
Man, my school did fucking Little Shop of Horrors once. Fucking my favourite.
yeah, but like
that was
present
awesome.
day now,
Yeah.
I don't think kids are giving them that much of a
I
shit.
don't know.
Yes, they do. You just what kids?
How
But
do
like
you
I
know?
reckon no, but I reckon like these days they're just reenacting like kidulthood and just having.
No, at least we know you're not hanging around too many fucking schools.
I
these
know.
days.
Well, you know, when you've been banned from 50 of them, you have to kind of fucking
And
keep your
that's
distance.
a reach as well.
That's a reach.
Yeah.
That's
Those are the only ones that you've been caught loitering around, selling your low-budget ice
mixtape.
creams.
My mixtape.
No, Ray said Ray's playing drums in.
Oh yeah, he said this yesterday,
in
didn't
his
he?
junior
In the
school's
Lion
rendition
King.
of the Lion King.
Sick, man. How good is that?
I think
School
school plays are
rendition
fully
of the
alive.
Lion King.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think
Imagine that.
school plays are very well and truly alive. People
should
are-
put-
people are
You
coming-
know they're pushing the Somali
Yeah.
kids right to the front for that intro, aren't they?
Man, we should get a
Jesus.
play night going.
Hallelujah!
You know what? Instead of going to watch bands, we should get like play bands put together in Kingston and put on play gigs. 10
pretty
minutes,
good.
go.
That'd be pretty good.
play gigs.
Yeah.
How? What
Like a musical, but like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
band's always on stage.
Yeah,
but they're like the central
They still
part
play
of
the
it.
length of a
You
set.
could have, mate. You could do it so easily. So like the stage is set up, so the band is in the background and everything goes on in front of them, but they're still the key figure of it.
I feel like you guys are on some kind of weird Greg and Joe mind link right now because
That could work.
what are you guys talking about? So bands play,
No,
Yeah.
no.
and then people just create
Well, bands
plays.
plays-
inside
I
of
didn't even
them.
mean
You could
that.
do it like-
I
you
didn't
could
even
do
mean
it like
I didn't
movies
even-
and shit.
I
I
don't know
didn't
where
even
you're
mean
going.
I didn't even mean the bands. I just meant instead of starting a band, people could start a little group, a little fucking theatre group.
I think people
Like,
do
and then
that.
instead of doing
No,
it,
no,
sure people do
people
that.
definitely do that. They just don't do it at live music venues. They do it.
They don't do it down the
That's
cocks.
what I'm
They
saying.
don't do it down the fighting cocks on a
that'd be
Saturday
great,
night.
that's a great idea. They should and they could
I
call
know.
it. They could call it. It's a theatre troupe. They could call it that, and they could meet. And do you know what they could
know
improvise things, and they could call it an improv group.
Yeah.
And then they'd be hanging out, a few times a week, meeting up and just acting. That'd be. And then that might really take off. People might like that. They might want to watch that.
They
It
should
might,
make
it might,
films.
might be
They should make
televised. If they play, if they do it
I get that.
professionally
Switch up their
enough,
format.
I'm picking up the hint of sarcasm.
if they do,
That's
if they
something
do that
coming.
professionally enough,
But-
it might actually go somewhere.
I know,
But like
but
podcasts,
what I'm saying is
they should make these. They should. They
should
could
do
do
these.
these a lot. They
Yeah.
could do these on like some kind of airwaves, even.
Like in an
Everyone
AM,
could
in
listen
an
to it.
AM FM format. They could probably do this.
That'd be amazing.
Maybe
yeah.
I mean they might have to fill it with some music
Yeah.
here and there,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
maybe some
Traffic
adverts.
reports.
Yeah, just, I could see
Advert
this.
sounds
I
like
could
a
see
shit
this being
idea.
popular. I could. Yeah.
But I was
Adverts sound
saying,
terrible.
instead of bands playing, you could do tonight. We have the I don't know. Think of some names of theatre groups. Go. Think of a theatre name group.
Stomp.
No, not
Tonight
the
we
original
have
one.
the
a made
Lion
up
King
one.
performed.
A made up one.
Oh, the Tiffin's Boys School reenacting Con Air.
I was just going to go with a name.
that the-
I
is
was
that a
going to go
name of
with
the theatre
I was
troupe?
going to go
No,
with
that's their next school
Jiffing
play.
Dongle or something like that.
What?
I was just going to make up a name for the theatre group.
The
What's the
dramatic
what's the one
dramatists.
from League of Gentlemen? Legs Akimbo.
Legs Akimbo. But yeah, you put on Legs Akimbo supported by Blank Slate. Like fucking-
Nice.
What's so
Love it.
supported by a band?
Forget the band.
Forget the band.
All I'm hearing
It's
is
hard
you're
to
like,
forget the
I
band.
don't, because originally you were like, instead of bands, we should have people acting. Yeah, it's called the fucking theatre, Greg. It exists. It's doing pretty well in the west
I
end of
don't
London.
believe a word of it. I haven't seen it on TV. I ain't seen this theatre you talk about on TV.
Theatre.
Oh, actually, speaking of that, there's. Can you believe the Green Day musical is still going?
Yeah.
Oh, is that?
still
I didn't
going.
even know it had started.
Oh,
I didn't
that's
even know
been-
it
yeah,
had been
that's been
written.
going.
American Idiot.
Yeah.
Anyone can do it nowadays. We
That's
should.
it.
We should make a musical.
Yeah, we've just had this conversation. Look where it went.
Brilliant. You could start one of those band theatre groups. I hear they're fucking trending. Hashtag band theatre.
What is that? Opera?
Oprah Winfrey Show.
Yeah.
Opera?
Do you know what they should fucking do? They should put a play with music, old school music.
Yeah.
Big fat chick singing on about
Like
it.
We Were Walking.
That'd be
Yeah,
good.
singing the story.
Yeah, that'd be
She
fantastic.
should sing the
Yeah.
story.
in some kind of fucking foreign language.
But then also,
Why did you fucking
out.
Cockney accent
Oh.
for that?
because that's
yeah, no, but that's great. But also, whilst that's
Brexit.
going on, political
Ooh, hashtag.
Drink?
No, but yeah, why not? Go on then. Only when you fuck up, but if you mention something that's quite
Political.
nervy. Yeah.
That's a fuck up, I think. Poignant.
Hashtag mic drop.
Poop political. That's pretty good. That was a good fun laugh, wasn't it? What should we talk about next?
Me and Calum just moved away in opposite directions at the same time. The lead between our headphones just like tug of waters for a second.
So I have something that I want to discuss, which is actually something you kept bringing up to me, actually, Greg.
Oh, my penis again.
Yeah.
Every
time. So have you seen the size of this man's penis? No, I'm joking.
Wait, what?
No,
Jesus.
I went too far with it. Don't
Chiseled
worry.
Greek guy.
No, it was Greg's pointed something out to me recently, which is there's a lot of videos and a lot of articles going around that just says things like researchers have suggested. Or the things that like researchers do, but it's very like very non-specific as to
researchers have discovered that pulling your phone out this amount of times a day gives you bigger thumbs.
Yeah. But like, who are these fucking researchers, and where are they all stationed?
Some dickhead with Google.
Yeah,
It's just fucking.
but like, isn't it?
Holsters.
So me and Greg have like had these ideas and like they all just sort of like stand around like a foosball table all day and just like, what if we research like how much honey it takes to kill a man? Just
there's like the head doctor like lying on the sofa watching his midday soap stories, and he's just like
whilst doing a Rubik's
and
cube.
he just listens and occasionally looks over and just goes no.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, go on.
Nah. Bad idea.
That'll take 10 minutes. Yeah, we'll do that. I'll be back though in time for doctors at 3:00.
Vets in practice is on this today.
So it's a slightly more official MythBusters type.
It's a sort of scenario. Yeah. But like, what would be something that you would want researched? How about that? Something awesome. Just like how many?
I always had this weird thought.
How many tubes of Pringles does it take to kill a man?
Before the age,
something that I would like.
Before the age of the internet. Like when I was a kid, walking fucking to school and everywhere about, I used to think it'd be awesome if at some point in my life someone gave me a book, and in this book it had like
all the sports results of all time.
But it had like
an almanac.
It had like a map of like everywhere I'd walked, like the amount of times I'd walked in certain places in my life, how many times I visited this shop, like how many times I did that.
Would you like to see that?
How long I
think
spent
it would be
here.
depressing.
No, I don't know. As a kid though, like looking back,
how much you'd walk to the corner shop.
How many times you'd masturbated?
Yeah,
That's
stuff like that.
I don't
Weird
wanna know that.
statistics. Weird statistics.
I do not need to know that.
Weird.
It would be depressing.
Weird
but also, it would be
stats.
put into the relation of your entire life. So you'd probably be
Not
like, more
entire
depressed at how little. Like, what?
Oh, this is ruined everything. How, in 32 years of life, have I only spent 46 minutes having sex?
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with my life? That was a great night.
Yeah, that was
That's
great
like under
46
2 minutes. That's under 2 minutes a year. And also, you have to take away the fact that, you're probably not having like sex until you're like 14, 15, 16. So like you have to deduct those. Oh, nice. 18.
Oh no, I was.
Oh god.
Following your succession.
Joe just gave away the undercover like sexual predator show we were doing.
Yeah.
Where Joe pretended to be underage and we're going to get someone trying to seduce him and then catch them.
Holla.
Now he's just told everyone he's 18, so it's all over now.
Yep.
The jig's up.
I can get away with. I can look younger if I get rid of this beard. 13
That's all it
years
takes,
old.
though, isn't it? It's all it fucking takes to get rid of the fucking beard.
Yeah, just get rid of the beard. I remember when Greg shaved his beard off.
It was fucking
weird.
horrendous.
He looked like a golf ball.
It was horrible.
ridiculous.
I
Well, you
remember
see, George shaved his.
Oh
beard.
yeah,
I just like a
nuts.
child.
Yeah, I sent him a picture of
George
the,
looks like he was
witches,
10 years
Roald
old.
Dahl, the witches when they start coming out. Because,
Yeah. Oh,
terrifying.
I shaved my beard before going to Malta because I trimmed it badly, so I'm going to cut it all off. So when I go away, just let it grow again. And it took so fucking long to grow back, man.
Yeah, that really.
Jesus Christ! It's not even a beard; it's still so stubble. But it took so long to grow back. Like, and I was in Malta, just like I look like a ball bag.
That said, though, nothing feels quite as good as being clean shaved. Like,
I don't know. I didn't
don't
like
like
it
it.
at all.
I
didn't
don't like
it.
it.
not
at
even
all.
not just the feeling.
No, I hated the
I
feeling.
think that
There was a chin I didn't expect to see there.
I think a proper shave is like the ultimate.
I
Like,
fucking
rather
gentleman.
feel
Like
like
Kingsman over here.
I would rather.
no. I don't mean like being clean shaven necessarily. It's a bit of a ball ache, especially once you do, then you kind of got to shave every day.
Yeah.
I would rather
But
shave
I
my
think-
balls than shave my fucking face.
I know that you love that.
Yeah.
Sure. It's like saying,
Helps him swim faster.
you put that on the same
my
fucking
go
pedestal
faster
as
stripes.
sex. So
exactly.
rather have sex than shave.
Before we have sex, I've got to quickly shave my balls.
Yeah.
Aerodynamics, you see.
You see.
I
Yeah.
flow better.
Go faster stripes.
I'm a leaf on the wind.
It's my Mario star.
I only make love to the theme of Mario as well. You do know that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I only make love to early 90s Nintendo game music.
Yeah. Paperboy.
It's going very well.
Paperboy. I remember the computer.
Legend of Zelda.
My first computer was when you put the tapes in.
Oh, what was
And,
it?
like, press play.
The Amiga?
There's something like that. You press play, and I was like, I had a short circuit game. That was awesome.
I remember some of the games.
Thundercats.
Oh, what was it? There was something about like the adventures of Egg or something. There was this Egg adventure game, Indiana Egg or something like that.
Wow, I think I remember that.
Those sound amazing.
Old school games. What was? Did you have like computers when you grew up? And shit?
Did you have
Not that you're like from
In
a third,
Africa?
like from a third world. No, but like
How
what,
often
like, what?
did you have to go get?
Did the lions bring you computer games?
Callum,
No, they just you just got all the animals to
How
recreate
often
Lion
did
King
you
in
have
your
to
back
go-
fucking garden.
How often did you have to go fetch water from the well? For
I tell you, it was a nightmare.
For a
The,
bath.
the adverts aren't lying. Eh?
Hey,
Yeah.
how many?
I
How
sponsored
many?
a few essays.
No, I know. I remember we used to get the check in the post. Greg sent us £1 and we had water
When
for
you
3
say
years.
essays, I instantly thought Mexicans. I was just like,
Essays.
Yeah, it works two ways. How many hundreds of thousands of pounds did you receive from Bob Geldof?
Bob Geldof. I mean, it was almost like there was a swing door into our house.
Yeah.
Just dumping
Best mates. Best
dumping
mates.
pounds on a daily basis. Mom was super stoked about it.
Top of the morning.
Bobby G.
One and then one day you get there and there's just a water well in your back garden. And you think
Exactly.
like we
I
didn't
don't
ask.
know. I don't know why it costs that much to dig a hole and put a pipe
Yeah,
in the
like
ground.
what is
but,
it? What's the deal with that? 'Cause I think it's
Yeah.
like a filtering. I think they've got to get like
Yeah, well, they're filtering something. that's for sure.
12 million Brita water filters
Yeah.
just so that they can fizz out all the shit.
No, I believe it or not, I grew up with running water and electricity.
Yeah, no, I know, but like I wasn't sure, like in the way of like computer games and stuff like that in South Africa, I wasn't sure like of the popularity.
They just got a
of it.
Mega
I
Drive
had
over there. They're doing very well for themselves.
Brilliant! That's awesome. Did you know how good the Mega Drive was?
So, pinball's really
awesome.
kicking off at the moment.
Oh, really? That's cool.
No, we
Snake
PlayStation.
on phones.
PlayStation was like the main
Yeah.
one. You know the PlayStation 1 big
The grey
bulky
one.
thing. Well, but then we came on a holiday here to see family and stuff. When I don't know how I would have still been probably late junior school. I was probably early teenager, or 12 or something like that.
Yeah.
And we came over, and that was the year that Nintendo 64
Yes.
and the PS1.
Yes.
You know, basically the PlayStation, but the
Goldeneye.
small one.
The
Yeah,
new
yeah.
Came
battle.
out.
The new
and
battle.
we came over and we were here and we were like, Mom, we want a computer game. And both my parents were very much like, no, we're not getting you TV games. We don't want you sitting in front of the TV while we want you out."
TV games, I like
Well,
it.
Yeah, we call them
Teletext for
TV
us.
games.
Teletext, bamboozle.
And no, we don't want you to get that. But my mom kind of cracked while we were over here. We had our cousins were getting them and things like that. But the big debate was like, Nintendo 64 or PS1.
Yeah.
And while we were here, N64 was like whoa, no ways. This is epic. Nintendo
yeah,
made
yeah.
a new console. Everyone was digging it. So we were like, we want that. And we got 4 games or something. GoldenEye, standard.
Standard.
I think
Of
it
course.
came with it probably.
Standard.
I think we had Donkey Kong something.
Oh, yeah, that was good as well. The platform one, wasn't it?
And to be honest, I don't even fucking remember the rest because they weren't worthy.
Oh man!
So
I don't
it's
know,
just
though, 'cause,
GoldenEye.
like,
It was just GoldenEye
Kart.
over-
Mario Kart
Yeah, but
was
we
the other
never
awesome
had
multi-game.
fucking Mario
Ah.
Kart because the thing is, we were like Nintendo 64, awesome. We'll go back and we'll be like, nah, look, we've got the most epic games console. You guys don't even know about this back in SA.
Yeah.
It was the lack of foresight of a child, and that when we got back, Nintendo 64 never made it to South Africa. So 4 games it was.
Yeah.
And, meanwhile, all our mates had got fucking PS1s for fucking Christmas. And
mate.
they were swapping games like crazy, and we were like, fancy a cartridge, anybody?
That was the thing, though. No, because the thing about it was...
No, you got to blow it. You got to blow it, Greg.
That was
like,
the
my
big.
mate, like,
That was the
It likes
big
to blow
deal.
dust to
Like,
get going.
no, that was the big deal though between the whole like PS1 N64 kickoff was because that like PS1 was the first like CD based like
Yeah.
games console.
You could like play music on it and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was just like it
you
changed
could play
everything.
MP3s on it.
Yeah.
But fuck, yeah.
Absolutely changed everything. Like
And then when it came out and you could play DVDs on it, fucking boom. Like,
Yeah,
fucking,
that's it. You fucking crushed everybody.
Yeah,
CDs.
that's it, you've done it.
They- in a
mate,
way,
Nintendo never recovered from that.
No.
They just went back to handheld shit,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that well, they were lucky. That
I mean,
did
the
well.
Wii had a brief fucking split.
The Wii did all right,
which is
yeah.
still around. Like, yes, it is still
The
around.
Wii did
but,
all
like,
right, but it was such a novelty sort
Yeah,
of
it
thing.
was, mate.
Like it was
Knackered
such a novelty
Yeah.
like design that like even when they tried to bring out like shit hot games, they were still just weak.
yeah.
Like, just,
Yeah.
Well, because the whole concept of Wii is fucking stupid. People don't play computer games or video
exercise.
games or whatever you want to call them because they want to be active. It's the
Yeah,
exact
yeah.
opposite. They want to fucking move as little as possible.
I wanna if I could lay
you
down
could
and play a game, I'm
if
happy.
you could think it instead of tapping your fingers, then you would fucking rather have that option. The idea forever was to get fucking the games console controls to be as simplistic
Yep,
and little as
that's it.
possible.
Yeah.
And Nintendo were like, oh well, backing the cartridges didn't really work, so I guess why don't we make this video game thing active? Fucking good one, guys.
yeah.
Good
but
one.
to be
yeah.
fair, the Xbox
Everyone was-
followed. The
Yeah.
Xbox did something similar to it. They did a whole
Yeah,
Connect thing.
but it's
Connect.
not the whole thing that they
No, that's very
fucking
true.
like center
Very
around.
true.
A Wii, we got it. That was our next one. Nintendo fucking whores. Fucking A. We didn't get a single game past the game that came with it, which was that shit Wii Sports game, because we just got tired the whole time.
Yeah.
It's like,
bad.
Fucking
but,
hell.
you know,
I'm
if you
surprised you
start
didn't have a
sweating-
Dreamcast in between those.
Dreamcast were fucking. That was the dumbest.
That was
thing
yeah, that
ever.
was great. That was them saying, well, if they're using full size CDs, we're going to use mini CDs.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was like the mini disc of consoles.
Yeah,
like, you know,
achieved
the
nothing.
potential-
Well
yeah.
done.
It had a spike of like this might be the next big thing before the big thing actually came.
Yeah, it's PlayStation 2, wasn't it? Or 1 that came shortly after that?
PS2 came and but the Nintendo 64 all it was GoldenEye.
Yeah.
And like
That was mate. That was the friendship testing game.
yeah.
Still to this day, that was the friendship testing game.
I think you mentioned it in one of your previous episodes,
Yeah.
in fact.
Yeah, I
Or you
believe that's
just told
probably
me
true.
at the pub sometime.
Yeah, equally both
Yeah.
both options.
But that was I got that.
I
we got
most
that
likely
Ninte-
said it on the podcast and then repeated it to you
Yeah.
at
The
the,
pub,
fucking
yeah,
pub.
yeah. We got that though, and it was. I was like, yes, this is it. Because you know how when you go over to your mate's house when
Yeah.
you're little
Bring a
like that,
controller.
and it's either bring a controller or just like, hey, should we play some PlayStation? And then you just watch your friend playing PlayStation.
yeah,
and you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
are you fucking kidding me, bro? It's been 3 hours. I want to go home. Or
Yeah.
let's go do something.
And when they
fun.
die, they don't actually hand you the controller.
you're
they
like,
just start
Oh,
the
mate,
game.
it's the classics.
Or they're so fucking good at it that they're like, we'll do one death. And then you watch
Play
them
for 3
playing
hours.
fucking Tony Hawk for ages. Oh, you can't die.
Yeah.
Great. Got you there. So
And I've
that was
got it and I'm
basically
dead.
me at my mate Greg's house. And I was like, boom, I've got a controller now. None of you have this. Nintendo 64. Fucking James Bond game. Come over to my place. And I'm going to kill all of you. This is a possible 4-way split. Never heard of that before, have you?
Oh, ever
Fucking
played a
hell.
game that's
Like,
involved with 4
yeah,
players?
Our TV is tiny, but you'll fucking deal with it.
Yeah.
And get that ready. But because I was never really video game inclined,
Yeah.
it only
Like
took
savvy.
about 3 rounds for my mates to be killing me the whole time anyway. I really thought I'd put in some good hours on holiday over here with my cousins.
Yeah.
Got a lot better. I knew the levels, all of that. Fucking blam, dead all the fucking time. Never did like it.
I had a group of friends who we specifically like we played GoldenEye like just crazy amounts, and we'd always try and like reenact like the scene from Reservoir Dogs where they're all like having like they're all got their guns pointed at each other.
Yeah, yeah.
But someone would always make like we do it in facility,
Yeah, of
in the
course.
toilets. And there would always be someone who would get there first. So like whilst you're like you get to the toilet, no, I'm not even lying. You get to the toilet and you stand outside the door and you say, "All right, I'm coming in." And he's like, "All right." So you walk in and he shoots you. I'm like, "I'm sorry, I got panicked. I don't know what happened." It's just
I
like,
saw
just
the
don't
glitch behind the door that you were
just
coming
don't,
through.
Like double-
just don't
du-
shoot me.
With the double Dostoevsky.
Yeah, of course,
The ultimate.
yeah.
What
Yeah.
the hell? That was one thing that I never knew how it happened. Every now and then I'd have 2 of those, the big silver fucking Dostoevskys, whatever. You're like, how do I have 2 guns now?
So
This is
badass.
fucking awesome.
So
but I don't
badass.
know. And then you click something and I'd be like, oh, we put one away. Why did you do that? How do I get you back?
Oh my
for
god,
fuck's
now
sake.
he's got his watch laser out. This is fucking
How do you kill someone with this?
You can do it.
Could you imagine seeing somebody in real life? Imagine like you were on these guards and James Bond comes in, holy fuck, and then he just keeps putting his gun away and getting his watch out, pressing it, putting it down, getting it down. And then he turns, runs into a wall, runs against it for a few minutes, and then he stops a while, where he saves, and then steps back, and
Runs into a wall, but somehow his face is pressing through it.
Pressed right through the door. His square face.
And he doesn't lose pace, eh?
Yeah.
Doesn't lose any pace.
No.
Once he's in the wall, he just carries on running at the same speed.
And also, whilst he's moving, his hands and legs don't actually move.
Yeah.
you know what?
Stiff.
I would like to make the most realistic Bond film ever, where like it opens with like the epic song by some popular pop star, and it's like 5 minutes long, and you watch this like intro/music video for the theme. And then as soon as it starts, he's in like some fucking warehouse.
And he gets shot in the head.
And he's having a shootout. He's having a shootout, yeah, and they're all shooting at him. And he sees like the vent in the corner. And he runs shooting, jumps, and then just gets shot like half his head off.
Yeah, it just
And
blows
just
off.
drops to the
fucking
floor. And the
dead.
film just goes down. And the credits roll.
But then back to the beginning. It's like, oh, okay, then fair enough. That didn't work. I'll try something else this time.
Yeah. Next, 008.
Yeah.
Jimmy Bynes.
Jimmy Bynes.
James Bond, the real stories and the fucking STD clinic.
Yeah.
Love it. I had sex with a Latina girl. She was shaken and dead. Something's wrong down there.
What's that in American Dad? There's that bit where they parody James Bond, and it's him like leaving a woman's house, and he goes, "I have slept with a lot of women, and you should probably get tested."
Yeah. That kind of is a reference to any film that was made before kind of probably 1980.
Yeah.
Where it's essentially,
Is that, what is it? All the realistic versions.
I am Mr. Man.
The bit on the James
Bond
Bond game though was always like when on the N64 in Goldeneye when you died it was like dun 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 and then just dead.
I used to hate it when you die in like Resident Evil as well, and the screen would go black, and the camera would just go round the body as it fall down. You'd be like, oh, so long, skip, start again.
Well, that's why they started like in things like Grand Theft Auto. Now they do like the slow down. Like if you like ragdoll, like if you slow down and shit, it slows it down. But you kind of want to see what happens, and it just cuts out, and you're like, oh,
yeah.
it's not even worth it.
But the thing is, that also takes back to. Do you remember how long it took to load like a PS1?
Fuck yeah.
It would be like loading, and you'd be complaining. And even now, it just shows how impatient the world has become.
Yeah.
Like you think about fucking. Why is this taking so long? Oh my god!
Well, that's
I'm
why they
dead
have
already.
like that's why
3
they have
minutes.
like cutscenes, so it's got time to.
But they
load.
didn't have
like,
that. It was
I
just
know,
a
yeah.
loading screen. Okay, great. So you're loading, and you're going to torture me by showing me bars that are not consistent.
No.
Surely you should work it out at the beginning and then give me a consistent thread. No, you're just going to freeze there for 40 minutes, and then we're not really sure whether we should maybe like take the disc out, rub it out, fucking put it on. Not rub one out, just rub it out.
Just
Make it even
wank
worse.
all over it. Maybe if I wank all over it, it'll be
works
fine.
better
Sacrifice to
this
the
way.
machine
Yeah.
god.
It's the same with dial-up connections, which I think we've spoken about
Oh,
before.
man, yeah.
Fucking think about that. Whenever your internet's lagging now on a fucking movie or something on Netflix,
Yeah.
internet's
Always
it's
21%
lagging. It's
or
like
whatever,
shit.
25%.
Internet's it's like that is not shit. You
Yeah.
want to know?
You
shit
don't know the
internet.
meaning of shit internet.
Everybody can hear that you're going online.
I will tell you horror stories. Have you ever been on the internet and someone phoned your house and cut you off?
When you've just finished downloading your fucking 60-second clip of a video that took 4 hours to
Yeah.
download,
Yeah.
fucking 10 seconds
Something
worth.
of rotten.com.
Yeah.
Did you ever go on steakandcheese.com? I've spoken about this previously.
No,
Yeah.
steak and cheese.
Steakandcheese.com was this like fucked up site, and it was just literally just like all these fucked up pictures and all these fucked
steak
up
and
videos.
cheese?
Yeah. Just steak and
Sounds
cheese.
great. Sounds lovely.
It sounds great, yeah, doesn't it? It sounds
Two
like
of my favourite things.
It's like steak and cheese. It's like, like a Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, every time I hear the phrase Philly cheesesteak, I instantly think of steak
and cheese.
And realising that I've seen a man die on that website.
What the fuck?
Wow.
Bro? I hate that shit.
Yeah, it's
Like,
fucked up, man.
There was in high school. There was always like that.
That was always the thing, wasn't it? Of
Yeah,
like
tasting death.
testing the internet's limits.
Like just as like people started to get the ability to play a video on their phones, came how fucked up can I show you?
Yeah.
Like kind of basically that thing. And like there were things when I was in late high school where people like I was sitting there and someone goes, "Hey, check this out," and you watch and you're like, I didn't get an opportunity to say whether I was ready to watch
Someone
that.
did that to me once, and I saw them chainsaw a live pig in half.
Yeah, and you're just what
It's
the
like,
fuck? And you're like,
whoa.
wow.
I think
Did
the,
not see that coming. That was like, I was just at school and I was really thinking about how maths was a bit of a ball ache. And now I just saw a man getting his head hacked off with a bread knife.
The
That's-
worst,
that's
the worst thing
horrendous.
I've seen is actually it's a person who was going to do like a dive into some water.
No.
And
Oh, is this,
feel ill already.
I've
mate,
only
it's
ever
bad.
been
It's
told
bad.
about this.
It's bad.
It's horrendous.
So like
Oh,
this
the
guy's
no-
no. So like this guy's like standing on the
Face-off
edge
too.
and he goes to jump in, and like between him and the water is this like metal dock. And he thinks
Oh, yeah.
and he thinks
I've
he's
heard
got it
about
cleared.
this.
He's doing like a dive, and he just completely cuts short, smashes his face into this metal dock, and just slides into the water. You see him just laying face down in the water, and the water around him just become red. And then it cuts to him in the hospital, and his face is split right down the fucking middle, and he's still breathing.
He's just a fucking dickhead, though, isn't he?
Yeah, completely.
He's
But
just
his
a
like his
fucking wanker.
face is split right down the middle to the skull, and he's
Yeah.
just there, just going.
Oh, that's so well, that's what you get for fucking jumping into a metal pylon, you cunt.
That's
Oh, that spins me out.
Yes,
Oh,
it's-
mate.
No,
I
it
can,
freaks me
and you
out.
know what? I'm
Freaks me
gonna
out, but, like,
give him a shout out. I'm gonna give him a shout out. This is Wayne Lewis, who I used to work with in Jessup's show.
That was him. Oh,
That is-
fucking
It
hell.
wasn't him, no.
You don't
But it
want to
was,
watch that, but the guy in the story, it's like fucking. That is a bit of a survival of the fittest moment. If you don't want to die or hurt yourself, don't jump off fucking massive bridges. No one who's ever not jumped off a bridge to dive into a metal pylon has that same story.
How young were you when like one of the worst like goriest things you saw on the internet? Like, I was like 13, and for some reason I was sent an email, and it was a picture of a man whose like face was like skidded off his face because he was on in a motorbike
Yeah,
accident.
it was shit like that I saw at school though. Like,
But
so I
I was
can't remember how old
13
I
and I
was.
got that in
printed
an
off
email.
pictures.
Someone sent me this email. Was
Wow.
just like, hey,
From
this is
school?
like this is crazy. Like,
No, I think I was
I
much
was
young.
like,
I think I
oh
was
my
much
God.
older than that.
I was
maybe
like 13.
I don't think. No, definitely. I remember coming over here. Our internet was not as savvy as yours, as early as yours, but I think it was more like videos. You couldn't stream anything back then, but there would be.
I'm so sorry. Keep going though. This is
No,
fine.
that-
I just really have to go to the toilet.
How the fuck am I supposed to get out of your way right now?
I don't know.
This is
I
yeah,
can't
this
wait.
is a nightmare. Oh, there we go.
That's better. Callum, as you were saying.
So we back in.
Yeah, we're back in.
All I was saying was that we didn't get you couldn't stream anything, but it was more people having the ability to download
Or
film.
sharing floppy disks at school.
floppy disks
Mate.
of filth.
Mate, I remember being given floppy disks by people. This has got a picture of Seven of Nine from Voyager on it naked, and it didn't.
It didn't. No.
She was naked.
It was
at
just
all.
her
Shoulders,
head
maybe.
plastered onto it.
Shoulders, maybe, were naked.
Her naked shoulders.
Yeah.
To be fair, just her in a bodysuit was fucking awesome.
Like all those Jennifer Aniston, like,
Wait,
nude
a
photos. or whatever
floppy
they are.
disk or a stiffy
That
disk?
one of her, like...
Well, it started off floppy.
remember that, that
I mean,
picture
floppy
of,
disks was like fucking way back.
there was that picture of, like...
Actually, that's like the big
It was
fucking
ice
square
cream,
one.
floppy
yeah.
disks were actually
yeah,
floppy. No,
yeah,
are
but
you talking
or maybe I meant actual discs.
You
sorry.
mean like
yeah,
stiffy
yeah,
disks?
actual discs.
They were called stiffy disks.
I thought they were floppy discs.
No, they were floppy disks, which were
Also, I'm
actually
pretty sure
floppy.
you just said floppy, like stiffy dicks.
Floppy discs.
No, we weren't passing around any stiffy dicks. It's cool.
They were all floppy. We were young.
I remember when
No,
someone.
a floppy disk is like that
Yeah.
big, and it's actually like
Yeah, okay, I meant the actual discs.
They're
Yeah.
stiffy disks.
I remember.
they're stiff.
I remember a day when a guy came into school with pictures of Jerry Halliwell naked.
Oh,
and
yeah.
This was in the peak of the Spice Girls fame.
She had black hair in the picture, didn't she?
On a vagina, she did.
I remember it was a junior school camp.
Yeah.
And we went off, and this one dude, it was like our last year of junior school, and it was that year's.
So, like, how old were you? Would have
grade
been like
7, like 12,
Oh, okay, yeah,
13,
yeah.
12, 13 kind of thing. And we went off on this camp, and the one guy got in serious trouble. serious trouble. It was very awkward, and then he almost got expelled for it because he brought a suitcase, an entire suitcase filled with printouts of like cartoon porn.
yeah.
But it wasn't even cartoon porn. It was like joke stuff,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
naked people, like Viz magazine
Yeah,
type
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like he brought, but an entire fucking suitcase, like filled with paper.
Like
It was
Brody from
kind of-
Chasing Amy,
it
just
wasn't a
like going
sorry,
away
I
with
say
like a
suit-
duffel bag of
I say
porn.
suitcase, but it was like a briefcase type thing. It's like his dad's briefcase, and he'd filled it with papers of like these cartoon pictures, and obviously like fucking an entire year of
A filing
13-year-olds was
cabinet's
like,
worth.
and then it got to the teachers, and he got in all this shit. But he got in trouble for cartoons. Really.
yeah. Oh dear lord.
Fuck. It was,
No, there was the same thing happened at my school though. Like again, back in drama class, this kid had this fucking like
back in this
back
one
in
time in drama class.
This one time in drama
We
class.
did improv.
No, this kid just had this like this folder, and you opened it up, and it was just all in like, it was all these pictures of like the Flintstones fucking and shit. Like, and then the
Like that
Jetsons,
weird-
like the Jetsons' dad jizzing all over his daughter, and it's just like, why do you have these?
Yeah, what?
Like-
Those are the things, and the kids
I'm
who
into
show that
cartoons.
kind of
I
stuff.
know,
are
it's-
always
but the thing
kids
was,
that's
like-
what? Why?
Yeah,
like
no,
even at
like,
that
all
age,
the
you're
guys.
like, why?
No,
though?
but I definitely remember they'd be like one of the guys was just like, oh, like why do you have these? I mean, like, where do you get these from?
Yeah. They're the
Like,
people-
no, I mean, like, what specific site do you get these from?
yeah.
I draw them.
They're the kids who like kind of understood where the internet was going way before it had.
Yeah.
They've built the internet. you
Yeah.
know?
And it's like, oh, I understand what's going on here.
Yeah. Like 10 years early.
They're laughing at us.
Yeah. You don't even want to know the kind of fucking shit
You
I'm
wouldn't
looking at now.
understand why
They don't
I'm going on the
understand.
web.
Kids these days don't understand the struggle it was to find porn on the internet, though. These days, it's given to them on a fucking plate.
Wait, you can see it on Facebook.
On a fuck plate.
You can see it on Facebook.
Why have you been looking at porn on Facebook?
I haven't, but you can. We were saying in
how
the
do you
last
know that?
episode, I was tagged in a video of a woman having sex with a dog on Facebook once.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
For real.
Oh.
By some random fucking like hip hop magazine site. Like, woke up to that.
There's nothing hip hop
Good
about
morning. Good morning. Here's some
Oh,
bestiality.
I've got a notification. Maybe I check it after I've showered and brushed my teeth.
that. Or maybe you should check that as soon as possible.
Perhaps on the bus or
You've
the
been
tube
tagged in it
sitting
for
next
6
to an old lady.
hours.
Ah,
Yeah, exactly.
I've been tagged in
Maybe
a
you should-
video. Great. That hip hop magazine Facebook page shared our Dice Roller video. Oh, this is the one where Joe
Finally,
fucks
some
the dog.
recognition.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fantastic.
Oh.
Wait a minute.
Oh, dear.
There you go.
Wouldn't be the first time Joe's fucked a dog, eh?
Oh. That's not true.
Of course not.
The
Not
dog,
the canine.
Yeah.
the dog died bbefore testifying in court. It was very mysterious.
The dog died before I fucked it.
Wow.
I read. I somehow had. I had an article come up from a newspaper that spoke about a.
Oh, this is good. We always like we always like newspaper articles.
a 17-year-old boy who his girlfriend denied him sex, so he proceeded to fuck her dog to death.
To death.
I think I remember reading about
Take that, bitch.
I think I remember reading about that.
He was found by her family and so on asleep next to the dead dog with a condom
Well, it
still
was
on.
tired out.
At least it was.
And his excuse was that his girlfriend wasn't putting it out. And it was
Wow.
Fair enough.
Wow.
Wow.
That was not an article I thought I was about to be reading.
Lucky you shouldn't have any kids.
Jesus. How you doing there, Joe?
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah. Way to steal my thunder, dude.
Joe's like, I was just thinking about that.
Man, it was on the tip of my tongue.
I've read that story. I swear I've read that story.
It was
Unless
unless I spoke to you about
actually,
it.
before you guys came over, I was like skimming
Fucking
through
a dog.
Facebook.
Well, I was actually watching her.
Yeah.
I was filming myself. I said
you
to a
sca-
dead dog.
I saw something. It came up on Lad Bible of all things.
Of course,
and
of all things.
it was this 31-year-old guy who's into elderly women.
Oh, I saw this. Yeah.
And he's like dating a 91-year-old woman, and it was just like he's just like, the thing I love most is like all the things that like all the things they're concerned about, their imperfections. Those are the things I love. I love their wrinkles. I love their saggy breasts. Like, and it's just like, this is not why I follow Lad Bible.
Yeah. This lad just loves grannies.
This guy loves getting a wrinkly digit.
It has the voice, so does it? Him being like, I first realized I was attracted to sexual women older
He was
women
like
when I
13
was
years old.
13 years old. I
Jesus
saw
Christ.
this, whatever the fuck you saw.
That is just nuts. That was weird. Hey, the internet's weird, isn't it?
That
The
sounds like
internet-
that
The internet
sounds
is,
like the sort of thing we would have covered on here before.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel
the
like,
internet is the strangest thing
isn't it?
that could have happened to mankind. It freaks me out, to be completely honest, because if you think about the history of man and evolutionary standards, right?
Yeah.
And the time in which, say,
I don't know what hashtag this is going to come under.
Homo
but it's gonna be-
sapien, hashtag Homo sapien, but like,
Hashtag Homo sapien.
the time in which that humans as we know it, Homo sapien, have been around. You think about what we've been exposed to, right, in that time scale, and
Like culturally.
just everything. So not even as far as culture. That makes it even more intense. But
Yeah, that's very true, actually. Yeah.
just think about visually, sounds, things like that. The majority of the time, the extreme majority of that time that we've been around just doing our thing, rocking around, was mainly just trees and mountains and shit that you had to deal with, right?
Yeah.
And then people started building things. But from the time that people started building things to the time that, say before the internet, say 30, let's go 40 years ago, or even 100 years ago.
1950s,
Like
1960s.
even 100 years ago, or, that amount of time compared to the time that we have been the same thinking beings that we are is so exponentially tiny.
Yeah.
And we have taken so much in that people who are born today are like, they're the same dude that was fucking being like, wow, fire, that's pretty cool, yeah. That's fucking really.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Wow.
Really impressed by that.
Yeah.
Those same brains.
I kind of wish I could just carry that kind of thing around in my pocket.
Exactly. Those same brains are going like, holy shit. If I just type in www. There is someone who's exploding. And I just feel. I think essentially I just feel proud.
Yeah.
That we, as these people, these human beings who are exposed to that, are like, our brains haven't melted off.
Yeah.
Into down our nose and just like
I think
dissipated.
the thing that makes me laugh the most about the internet is the way that people have been able to use it to make money in so many
Crazy.
different
Yeah.
formats. Like just completely like from one scale to another.
Yeah, like selling
Selling
things
their
on
own
the internet.
socks.
Yeah, like as simple as yeah,
When women sell their socks and underwear.
yeah, like as
Yeah,
simple
more
as
like
yeah. It's just
there-
like
there's some, but also like just as a platform to be like, hey, I want money for this. There's some fucking weird ones. Like,
well, it's like even that like that online game. What is it like? Second Life. Like
Yeah.
people were like making stuff on that and selling it to people within the game, and that was their income. And it's just
Yeah.
like, how do you like?
I'm a professional.
Yeah, that's basically you're basically a
You can hire
graphic
those,
designer.
I think it's in China. Like,
Yeah.
You can hire people to play your
It's
game
fucking
for
crazy.
you. Like, to keep it running and stuff and get you in good positions.
Yeah, so ridiculous. The
Yeah, I
internet
actually
is the
do that on the
craziest
side
thing.
quite a bit.
Yeah, is it?
I develop
Yeah.
characters on World of Dota, and I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah.
I've got a few dragons.
Got a lot of gold.
How does that interfere with your work schedule?
It really doesn't,
No.
I switch off between the two.
Yeah.
Mainly when I'm at work.
I mean,
I'm
I
about
guess
this
with the-
Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Because we're obviously a
Fucking hell
dispenser.
about that though. What is all this Pokemon Go shit, man?
What the fuck? Unbelievable.
I had no idea so many people gave a shit about fucking
I
Pokemon.
didn't. I think a lot of people actually don't. I think they're just like, oh, this looks cool.
Like we must have been what, like
I don't-
what, 13, 14 when Pokemon was like a
I
big deal
don't
over here?
Understand what it is. So
It was a pretty fucking big deal.
you
though.
see through like your phone, and if you're using a camera, you search for like a Pokemon,
Apparently.
and then you have to walk around areas to like find it, and you through your phone you can
How
see
is
it running around.
mate? I'm waiting for the news article that is person gets run over playing Pokemon Go.
I saw
Person
one.
gets led to
I
a
saw one that was
paedophile
about
den.
like
Yeah.
a big car crash, but I didn't get round to the point where I read whether it was true or not.
It's just,
'Cause
mate.
it was
It's
on that
just,
fucking
it's just
internet.
one more reason for people to look at the screen, like it's just, and just like, I don't know. It's just ridiculous.
Ooh, I just drove past a fucking Charizard.
It's quite a cool idea of shit. Eventually, like if they get that right, like the whole holding up your phone, then it migrating with what the camera's seeing.
Yeah.
You could be like in fucking Manhattan and like hold your phone up and through your phone you see fucking like Spider-Man swinging through the fucking
Yeah.
buildings. Like that's pretty cool shit like
It's a whole sort of
Patented
like,
by Greg.
that. But that's what
10th
that's,
I mean,
10th of
it's
July,
no,
2016.
that's essentially what
it's
this
no
is.
back sack and crack like bikini wax, but I mean, you know, it's an impressive invention.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, geez, yeah, it definitely is not back sack and crack bikini wax, which I would like to mention is going
Can we get an
incredibly
update on
well.
that?
It's
Yeah.
going incredibly well, yeah.
Are you into post production now? Are you it's like the design set?
It's it's
Because I mean, the Olympics is coming up.
it's gone. It's basically a lot of work's been going into it, and it's gone about as far as it was last time we spoke,
Right.
which is great. I mean,
Yeah.
it's progress.
It's a
Yeah,
healthy
it is,
pace.
yeah, yeah.
A
Progress,
and to be fair, you have just said that you are quite busy with, you know, managing the bar, but also making, what was it, on Doka?
on World of Dota.
World of Dota. So I mean,
Yeah.
you know, you've got a lot
You're
of,
busy.
yeah, you're busy. You're a busy man.
I've got those things going on.
Big man
Yeah,
around
they're
town.
Big projects.
So you know, I mean, it's all right for the back sack and crack bikini wax costume. To
I mean,
take
I feel like
burner.
the names out there, the brands out there,
Yeah.
it's taking shape.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of good
4%
feedback.
brand
and-
awareness
and,
here.
some relatively hairy people coming in and just saying, "Hey, man."
I mean, you know, as much as I've
that's
read
something I'd be
articles, I've read articles that said, you know, the beard is dead. I mean, it's not about like waxing off the beard, but you know, if you have a beard, you kind of have like
you
the
can't.
rest of
Yeah,
you.
you got to have a smooth as fuck body, don't
No,
you?
you
Yeah.
can't. It'd be ridiculous.
You need
though,
to get
wouldn't
a
it?
beach
To have
bod
like
ready.
a
You need to
fucking
get a
full-blown
beach bod
beard
ready.
and then just a completely bald body.
Yeah.
That's
You
ridiculous.
don't want too much gravy on that.
No, you don't, no. You
gotta
wanna,
have a
you know-
good ratio.
Yeah, and I think, you know, if you're gonna have a big old beard, you know, a decent ratio of body hair is equal.
No, exactly.
I don't have
just
a
to
massively-
balance things out.
Hairy chest, but the idea of waxing it does make me feel a bit like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
No, I mean, like, I wouldn't use my own product. You know, I think that's rule number one. Everyone knows that.
Don't get high your own supply. Have you ever had your chest waxed?
No, there's no fucking way I would ever do that.
No.
I've got a fucking beautiful love rug. I'm proud of it. And,
Yeah, dude.
It's one of my defining features.
That's it.
I like to think.
The unfortunate thing that I've noticed recently is that my body hair makes my chest look like a pair of tits.
I don't think that would be your body hair so much as the pair of tits that you have.
I know. It's the rum and cokes. Yeah, it is.
It's so awkward.
That's what he's named them.
I'm actually weird. I'm actually
rum and coke. Yeah.
I'm actually ripped as fuck. It's just my body hair has this weird illusion.
Well, no. The thing is,
where it
like,
looks
I didn't.
Oh,
no,
like
I
Greek-
didn't. No, I did an
too much.
experiment.
Like
I
Greek
did
people,
an
yes.
experiment recently where, like, I shaved off my tummy hair, and I was like,
Your treasure trove.
That's
I'm not
a-
even lying.
That is not a sentence that's okay with me. I shaved off my tummy hair.
The treasure. It's called the treasure trail, right?
Come
Yeah,
back
yeah.
to my place and we can
like
shave
the,
off my
like the
tummy
trail
hair.
that goes up to your belly button. I got rid of
Snail
that.
trail.
Yeah, I got rid of that, and I was like, you know
Why'd
what?
you do that?
Because I thought I looked slimmer.
Why didn't you just fucking cut your balls off?
Because I'm body conscious. Oh wow, that was silence.
Wow.
No.
Well,
This episode of the All Seeing Guys has been interrupted
have you been
for a public
affected by any of
service
the issues
announcement.
raised in tonight's show? Please get in touch on the hotline.
But yeah, no, I shaved it off, and I
Body
was just
issues.
like, body issues.
Let's talk about them in the All Seeing Guys.
Let's really get in there.
Yeah.
Whose body have you got an issue?
We're going to get round the big body into the small one. Let's talk about your issues with your body.
Well, as I was saying.
Fucking hell.
So yeah, no, I trailed it. I took the trail off, and I thought
But how are the hikers going to get through the woods? They can't see the trail.
Is that a sperm reference? What are you
Uh,
talking about? Like
The ramblers will get
when I
lost.
jizz into my belly button.
The ramblers would get lost.
That's not what I call my semen.
Oh, isn't it? I hope I call it
ramblers.
that. I
Ramblers.
can't wait to
I
ramble
call them
over your
10,000
face.
maniacs.
I'm going to ramble all over you.
The ramblers, because they're not really too fussed about where they
Ramble
go.
inside me.
They do not care where the trail leads.
Yeah.
All right, do you reckon on that note we should go into some agony aunts?
Maybe. Actually, it's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well,
Not
no.
a while. I mean,
Been a
we've been chatting
couple
for
of
a while.
weeks.
This has been good. I think this has been a good old chatting shit. This has been good fun.
Good old chat.
And why not continue to chat some shit with some advice that is not warranted?
You didn't ask for it, but here's our advice anyway.
Excuse me, can I ask you a question? I don't want your advice. I don't want it. I don't need to listen to your talks. I don't want your advice. Just think you should marry the dog and be happy. I don't need to know what you have to say.
Disclaimer, do not take our advice. If you do, you will not be held accountable for inevitable heartbreak. Thank you.
My girlfriend became so ashamed of the sexual things we did together that she has ended our relationship. I'm gutted. I'm 26 and my girlfriend is 25. We've been together for a year and I thought everything was going well. But we fell out after a stupid argument one night, out drinking with friends. She stormed off, and at first I was too angry to go after her. Around an hour later, I worried about where she was an hour later.
An hour later.
Yeah, I went looking for her, couldn't see any sign of her. I eventually went home, and she was asleep on the doorstep. So I was relieved, and she was so happy to see me. We went in and had a great time in bed together.
Nice.
We both sobered up by then, and the sex was pretty intense. We tried all sorts of new things.
How do you spell that?
We tried all sorts of new things. Afterwards, she told me that she wanted me to marry her, and I said I would
There's
anytime.
like 5 limes in my drink right now.
She's the love of my life. She was always withdrawn. Then she was withdrawn the next couple of days, and then she said she wanted to end the relationship. I couldn't think what made her change her mind. Eventually, she told me that she was ashamed of some of the things we did in bed that night. She blamed it all on the drink and said it showed our relationship wasn't healthy. I didn't think the things we did together were extreme. We tried some bondage. She seemed really up for it at first and suggested that I spank her too, as well as some other sexual activities.
Pissed on her.
Surely it couldn't have just been because of that. She's now saying she wants to be friends, but I would rather not, as being friends will hurt too much. What do I do?
Go and find another chick who's
So they had an argument one night. She stormed off, went home, waited for him on the doorstep. He got home.
He
they
found
went
her on the
upstairs,
doorstep,
had
tied her
sex.
up, and beat the
They
shit
had
out.
sex. They did some crazy
Chris
things
Browned her.
they'd never done before, all night. And then she couldn't live with the shame of the things they did that night in makeup sex, so she called it off.
Oh, yeah, makeup sex is pretty good from what I
Oh.
remember. From what I remember, makeup sex is pretty good.
This apparently.
But I mean,
was.
like, you know, they were clearly having breakup sex.
The breaking
Clearly
sex.
yeah.
the pity
I
lane.
think we can
The
see
kind
here
of
that
sex
it's
that
clearly-
breaks a person.
Yeah.
Clearly two very twisted individuals.
Yeah.
No, I think the
Was
real
that
question... I
written
think
by Mr. or Mrs. West? Or was that just...
So shame of what they did that wonderful night.
I
I
think
apologise
that the
apologise
first...
to interrupt this, but Callum, can you ice me a little bit on this?
I'll ice you, baby.
Ice baby. Where's my ice baby?
ISIS baby.
ISIS baby.
Wrong draw.
All right, stop. Allah and listen.
Okay. Whoa. what? There's nothing he really can do, is there?
Nothing that I see relevant.
If she wants to
No,
be
I-
friends again, they're obviously going to have sex again. So.
Yeah, obviously.
I think that the crucial
But not like the
question
filthy
here-
sex.
I reckon it would
I think
be.
the crucial question here to understand
She'll come begging
really
back.
what has happened
Well, he'll
is
plead.
We're gonna need a
what do you
breakdown.
mean by other sexual stuff?
Yeah, we're gonna
like
need-
bondage.
we need-
bondage.
we're gonna need a
bondage
list.
followed by things that I'm not willing to
Spanking,
write
he
down.
said spanking.
We're gonna
Bondage
need
is
at
like-
least
it's
a
like,
list
how far
of
are
the
you going,
things,
bro?
like
What
how
the-
many limits were tested?
Is my mind capable of imagining your sick fucking twisted one?
Maybe a bit of role play.
Did
Yeah,
you
but,
fuck
I mean,
her
then
throat
that
until
begs
she
the
threw
question
up
of
on
what-
your penis?
Did you pretend to be a baby?
Oh, don't be.
What
Did you
was-
pretend to be
no.
a sloth?
What was the point where she was so disgusted?
I love that got him. He was trying.
Soft scare me.
Yeah.
Sloth sex.
Sloth, yeah, that must
Slothy
have been
seconds.
That must have been it for you, Greg. With the sloth sex. I think it's like it's really is there. Right
I mean,
there,
if
a
he's
question of
willing
what
to
went on.
if he's willing to mention bondage,
What
that
how-
means
what-
like
what is
how
the
what's
sexual
worse
stuff?
than bondage?
But like, yeah, how
Many
like,
things.
other
There's a lot
sexual-
worse than
there's a-
bondage.
No,
Yeah.
there's obviously a lot worse. But like,
Fuckzilla.
considering that is his ballpark figure of what's acceptable in an agony aunt.
Yeah.
Like, where's he going? It's like some other sexual stuff. Like the next thing, I got all my housemates involved.
Yeah.
And she can deal with the shame for the next 2 days. And so she broke up with me. That'd probably do it, bro. What's his name? Craig, Steve, something
after
like
some Craig.
That'd
Steve.
do it, Steve.
Yeah, Craig Steve.
That'd
Craig
do it,
Stephen.
Craig Steve.
I think
We
maybe
used up all the honey.
oh dear God, I reckon that
hundreds
possibly
of
at one
thousands.
point a cattle prod was involved.
Yeah.
You know,
Like
just like jammed straight inside her and just turned on.
Oh, I thought you meant like
hair
a
straightens.
branding.
No,
like
like one of the stun, like the little stun things, the little stun rods.
Yeah, on the nipples, on
Yeah.
his nipples.
On
So
his
it's probably not
nipples
shame more than brain damage.
and then on his butthole.
Wow.
I think it's I think also maybe what's his name? What's this guy's
Doesn't
name?
say his name.
Why not?
Because this is the
I don't know his name and his address.
It's anonymous.
You won't get
What's
his
the point
address.
in reading these things?
It's anonymous.
So
It's not
okay,
anonymous.
But of
I
course,
would say,
she's going to
let's call him
send out.
Steve Craig or whatever.
Steve
I
Craig.
would
Yeah, no,
say,
Steve Craig
I
is
would
fine.
say Steve Craig.
Steve Craigerson.
You know, also just maybe a little bit of advice. Not your auntie, not your agony auntie, but
Yeah.
a little bit of advice would be maybe
Callum
go
knows
home.
best. That's
Yeah,
his
yeah,
agony
what,
aunt
Callum
name.
knows best.
Callum knows best.
Don't go from my girlfriend's passed out drunk on my doorstep after we've had a fight through to let's make up with a bit of fucking bondage and spanking.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
doorstep
definitely
sex.
it's a well, I was passed out on your doorstep. You took me upstairs, tied me up. I woke up and you were spanking the shit out of me. 3 days later, fancy that. Fucking don't want anything to do with you. You know? Oh no! Why is she
fancy
broken
that.
up with me? I better write into a fucking newspaper to get some advice here. There's no advice for you, bro. You're a fucking weirdo. Don't
Yeah.
bother.
No.
No.
Don't want it.
Next.
Don't want it. Next.
Okay, ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Right.
Do you want me to read this one?
Can you read?
When I, well, but not now. I can't. I've been interrupted. When I met my half sister, it was like meeting my other half.
That's it. Done. Next.
Poetic.
Next. We don't even have to fucking. We don't even have to suggest incest on this one.
No. That's amazing. But it's like a haiku.
Yeah.
When I met my half sister, it was like I was meeting my other.
I'm gonna try and do this in the voice of Jeremy Irons in
Go on, then.
in Lolita.
Okay, go on then.
It's not at all. It's going to end up sounding like Jeremy Irons in Die Hard.
Go on.
When I was my half sister, it was like meeting my other half. No, I'm not going to do that.
Oh, that was good. I like that.
Was it good?
It was good, yeah.
Terrible, but I like it.
Line and sinker. We are deeply in love, and the sex is the best ever. But how should we handle this?
What? Wait, hold on. What?
So he's
When
he's
I
having
met
sex
my
with he's
half-sister-
having sex with his half sister.
But half sister means like daddy fuck.
I think he's
Like-
gonna. It will explain. I think it was.
Yeah, I think if
Oh,
you'll let
okay,
me
okay.
continue.
Let him read it. Read it.
I'm a guy of 20 and I can hardly remember my dad. He walked out when I was 7. I decided to find him when I turned 18. It took a while and eventually found out he was living nearby with a new partner and family. I sent him a letter introducing myself and a few weeks later, he agreed to meet up. At first, he seemed like a nice bloke, but then he told me he'd just got on with his life and had left me alone. I was gutted. A few weeks later, I got a Facebook message from his daughter. My half-sister, she is 17. She had come across my letter
That's
to
the
her
voice.
dad and decided to get in touch. I was thrilled. Revenge. We met in
No,
a
he-
pub.
yeah.
We met in a pub. 17. Unless it's like one of those situations where if there's food available, she can have a drink with
I
it.
really don't think it was that situation. That is not on my watch.
No,
Not
not on
my
your watch. Well done. That's just what Jamie wants to hear. Also, you don't serve food. It's totally fine. We met in a pub. Seemed to have the same sense of humour, and she made me feel happy inside.
Wow.
That's weird.
That's the wrong way
Why would you
around, bro.
phrase it like that? We agreed to meet again, and our kiss goodbye turned into a real snog. The next time we went to see a film and held hands. Later, I drove her home, and we had sex in the car.
Yeah.
Go on, lad.
Family
It felt
stars.
right. We now meet often, and we have
Bone.
sex. Is amazing. Oh, we can have sex.
Sex is amazing.
And we can have sex.
We have sex. Oh wait,
It
no,
doesn't
wait.
say we can have sex.
We
like,
now
does it,
meet.
or-
Oh no, sorry.
She allows
No,
me to
I
sex her.
fucked it. I fucked it up. We now meet as often as we can, and the sex is amazing. I love her, and she knows how I feel about her. But her
Sing you a
dad,
song then.
yeah,
I love her.
I love
both
her.
as a sister and a lover.
and but her dad, or rather our dad, is getting suspicious.
Oh, the dad, no, it's the
Dad
same
is
dad.
on it, mate.
They
Dad
share
is
the
all
same
over it,
dad.
and you know why? Because he went down on her, and he was like, "You're incredibly wet tonight."
Tastes half like me.
Oh, half.
Oh, it does sound
Because
like...
it's the half brother.
Yeah, see what
Get
you
on,
did
son.
there. It does sound like one of those families. I mean, fuck's sake, bro. Like,
Oh, hang on.
So what's the crux? What's the
Oh, hang
question?
on. Hang about. So this is the finale. Last night, I could see... How did he fucking send this off? He sent this off, and all of a sudden it's last night. She responds quickly, doesn't
It's
she?
like the diary.
Go on, Deirdre. Oh, last night I could see him looking out the window as we drove past their house. He knows she has a new boyfriend and keeps asking her why he won't bring him home. I love her so much, but that's when I lose my place.
Oh, okay.
But it feels like I can't carry on. Our parents would be horrified if they found out. So basically, this guy's getting crazy pussy from his half sister, and she's 17. Let's all remember that for a moment.
Well, he says, it feels like I can't carry on.
Yeah.
Don't. Don't. Just don't, bro. You know?
don't do it.
I mean, there's no coming back from like, it's
out-
the-
I don't give
it's
a
out there.
I do not give a fuck how strange your relationship with your dad is. It's no reason to fuck your sister.
Yeah. No, and it doesn't even like half, 2/3, 3/4, still a sister. But on the same time,
It's not even like
It's
a
his
it's
father.
not even a
Actually,
step
no.
a stepsister would
No.
still be fucked up.
Yeah,
it's
completely.
like, but there's no blood involved. But that's your dad's daughter. That's you know.
You know what I think he should do instead?
How did
'Cause
you
that
know
is,
there was no
that is
blood
his
involved?
half sister, because obviously that is all done. That is all like that is that girl is formed by the blood of his father.
Yeah.
So what he should do is fuck his dad's new wife.
Yes.
Instead,
That's
As
who
well
he
as-
should
it
be
would
fucking.
it would certainly be.
That's
a
who
cry
he
better.
should be fucking.
It would be a cry better. Yeah.
That's who he should be fucking. It makes sense. She's not
What are you
blood
talking
related.
like a daughter mom scenario? Because
No,
it's
not
so-
at all. Like fuck that. Not even
Still
like
fucked
fuck the
up.
half sister. She shouldn't be in this equation. Should be fucking his new wife. That's the
That's right.
ultimate kick in his face for
I mean,
saying that
yeah.
I've moved on with
Ain't
my
you
life.
giving him the
I
face?
forget about the dad being a dick to him.
Yeah.
So the dad being a dick to him is almost a it's almost like it's a bit of a fuck you to the dad as well, which
Totally.
makes it even more fucked up. I'll tell you what, Poppy. You don't want no part of my life. You don't want no part of my life. I'll show you and I'll fuck my sister, who also
must
happens
be-
to be your daughter.
That must be quite stressful as a father. It's been like, I think my children are having sex
Yeah.
with each other.
Yeah, exactly.
But his wife's like, I don't see the problem with that. And it's just
Where-
like, oh, of course you don't. It's not your fucking children. And it's like, well, one of them is. And it's just like, well, can't you understand how this is
She's
bad?
a woman. She's a woman. She wants to express her sexuality with her brother.
It would be. I mean, it would
From
be a lot
another
easier
mother.
if it would probably
Literally, because it's his dad.
be. Yeah. I mean, my advice is try and fuck the mum instead of the half sister, because that mum is not in any way related to him.
I'd
Ever.
say, I'd say just like, you know,
That's like a
You-
stepmom.
you took that
That's
17
basically a stepmom.
you took that 17-year-old down to a pub. Go down to the pub and meet
The
some
fact
people
that he
who
got
aren't
away
17
with that
and,
suggests something. How did he get away with
and
getting a
aren't your
17-year-old into
sister
a pub?
either. You know,
Yeah. Ridiculous.
I don't understand why you're struggling with this one, bro. Sorry. Just stop. You've even said it feels like I should stop. That's a
Yeah,
that's a
that-
good
that's
feeling.
That's usually a good.
Go with
yeah,
your
that's-
feeling.
Yeah,
Go with
usually
your
like
feeling.
a gut
Yeah.
instinct. You know.
So
So stop having sex with your half sister.
stop fucking writing into agony aunts, you dickhead.
Yeah, but
Do you
those
reckon?
boring
Do you
ones.
reckon we should attempt to like write into like an agony on and
See
actually
if
like,
we
we'll,
get-
we'll
see if we
create we will create an agony
I think they
and we'll
write.
send it in.
No, they write them themselves.
Yeah.
Because it's some of the I really don't believe like this much incest is going on within the UK.
Fucking, I just don't believe I live in a country where that much incest goes on.
It's not even. No, it's
Dude,
not even like a fucking like
people are
Snooty.
strange. People are strange.
It's not even a snooty, tooty fucking thing. I'm just
No,
saying
no,
we're not
I-
Texas.
Brilliant. No, fucking. I think people are fucking weird as fuck. So
It's true.
I think.
Yeah.
I mean, like
think
when
there
you
are
look at
enough
like
fucking
when
weird
you
people
when
out
you have things like Jeremy Kyle on your TV screens, like it's kind of okay. Now that I think about it, actually, there's probably a lot of insects
Every
going on.
week, the same old fucking like group. Of
I
people
love
as
my
well.
cousin.
actually, every time that I think shit like that is made up, I fucking come across or bump into or meet someone over the bar or fucking overhear someone that just completely reaffirms all my belief in that those people exist. Like when I was a fucking travel rep, I was like fresh off the boat from SA, like you kind of just been exposed to like the surroundings you've grown up with, like that's
Yeah.
kind of your life. And then you go to a different country and you throw in a whole load of fucking people who are now clients or whatever.
Not your
from
mates.
from
They're
like
not your mates.
from some not your mates, from somewhere that you cannot relate to whatsoever, and you're like, holy shit. You take the level of dysfunctional family, which I thought from my experience is every family, to like another level. What the fuck is going on there? Who's that guy? Who is that guy? Because you guys are clearly married. Who's that motherfucker?
Yeah,
that's
who's
on
that guy
holiday with
fingering
you?
your wife right now?
Yeah, like Jesus. You know, there were some weird scenarios. Like the one dude had like a swingers couple
Oh,
as his guests who'd come on holiday with their 13-year-old daughter.
Oh wow!
Oh, that's messy.
Fucking, and it was like, what the hell? And then they went on like the pub crawl that we took in Tenerife, and it was like, you guys are weird.
You guys are fucked up, man.
Yeah. You know,
That'll fuck
Like,
a kid up.
who
for
knows where the
life.
13-year-old daughter? You know,
Was she with them
Not sexually.
during the pub crawl? Though was she there? No, not was she drinking.
During the pub
Well,
crawl.
not drinking. But did they bring her with her? With her?
at a point, I think. But like, it was like over 18s. But it was just like we knew
Kids club.
we knew the information from the dude whose guests they were, because he realized it because they were asking him, because obviously the holiday rep is supposed to be Mr. Information, and they came and asked him a bunch of questions about like the local stripper scene. No, sorry, not stripper scene, swingers scene. So they were like, where are the best swingers clubs? And that's not exactly on your like places to go chart that you administered from.
It's not your go-to.
That's a curveball.
Ah.
You're clearly comfortable with that, but I've never been exposed to stripper. Why do I keep saying strippers? Swingers
think
in
they
their
were the same?
50s, yeah.
Well, I
Someone-
say
a
that
team
probably
one.
brings us near the end now. To,
This has
to,
been.
Is that
this
all
has
the
been quite
agony
interesting.
aunt?
That is, yeah, we only go back to
yeah.
Cool.
Otherwise, it would
Yeah.
go on for hours.
yeah. Some of them drift off, some of them don't.
Some stick around. That was fucking awesome. To have you back on it. We covered
No.
Yeah,
various subjects.
It's been fucking fantastic.
This is
awesome.
the whole
awesome to be
idea
here.
of this being unscripted has actually gone surprisingly well.
It's been a great fucking afternoon.
didn't
I mean,
really
the
stall.
fire, the
Had a nice
the
braai.
bucket braai,
Bry times,
the
times, braai.
bucket braai that we constructed.
sausages.
We
no
did
one's,
not
that
have
no
a
was
one's,
barbecue.
so
no
good.
one
made
has
one.
shit or puked yet.
No,
so
they were
so
obviously
good.
cooked through.
Yeah.
made a great
delightful,
impact on the
delightful. Now,
And it's
I
been
think,
a good
however,
setup. It's been a good setup too. I liked it.
good.
It's been
Yeah, it
good.
has been good.
I think, however, like it's been incredibly fun. Thank you for having me.
Thank you
I
for
think
coming.
though we should have those drinks we were gonna.
Yeah,
Oh, I forgot
now
about
you
those.
You poured these and as is tradition.
As
ages
is
ago.
tradition,
So
in running with the
maybe it's time that me and Greg ask you, Callum,
What's
what's in the shots?
What's in the shots?
What are in the shots?
What's in the shots?
Today, Gregory and Joe, we
Oh, that's
have
my name.
a wonderful concoction of rum.
Just rum.
Yeah.
All
just
right.
rum. Just rum.
So before doing these, yes, Callum, thank you for joining us on our 30th episode.
It's only a pleasure. It's been fucking an absolute pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely true.
I hope it's.
Thank you for everyone out there listening in constantly. Don't ever, as I said, hesitate to send us any funny shit. That you
Hi,
think
Mom.
we can
Hi,
read.
Dad. I'm on the All Seeing Guys. Hey,
I
Ollie,
will
Oscar,
say, as soon as we do these and do our goodbyes,
Hi, Amy.
Cool. I'm
Yes,
so glad everyone
boom.
interrupted me.
Fucking
right now.
brownie points right there. Brownie
That's it.
points.
Done.
Yes.
once we've done these and reacted, we'll be playing out on a song by American Reese from the Fighting Cocks, keeping it in the
American
same
Reese.
circle.
American Reese.
Just, or as we know him, Reese. He put a track
Just
out.
an American
Bye,
Reese.
Miss American
He put
Reese.
a track out under the name Sing a Storm
Tom
for his
Petty and the
upcoming album
Heartbreakers,
Winter in the
American
Spring
Reese.
called Foursome Home. Written
Yeah,
before,
well done,
mastered
Reese.
by Reese. It's all good. Fucking, he
Hey!
sounds way more English in this than he does normally because he's American.
What's in
Getting
the
cut.
shots?
That's getting
What is
Cheers.
in the shots?
What's in the
Cheers,
shorts?
Lovely.
Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
I don't want to be in your dreams of this place. I know that you've got your space and I've got mine. I think it makes no sense we got this far, and I want to see the things that I remember. I think they came and stayed with me. This place seems so changed. I don't remember the air smelling so full of defeat. I remember the valley and the hills. I remember the daytime turns to night so beautifully. And I want to see the things that I remember. I think they came and stayed. And I think of running all the time, running back to the time I saw the things that I tried not to read into. And all I want is yesterday, not something new.
The All Seeing Guys podcast is part of Podnose, the UK's leading independent entertainment podcasting network. For episode archives of the All Seeing Guys and all of the shows on the network, visit us at www.podnose.com. You can also follow us on Twitter via @podnose or send us an email via admin@podnose.com.